there, my name's Gill Tiney. I'm from Collaboration Global, and this is our podcast, Being Human, Hidden Depths. I'm going to be interviewing some of our members from Collaboration Global, and they're going to be sharing with you their extraordinary lives. Although they would probably believe they're just normal, everyday, average humans, but they are extraordinary. A bit like you and me. We all have our story to tell. We've all been through difficult times, and we've come out the other end having learned an extraordinary amount about ourselves that we can share with others. So I think you'll find lots of things that will resonate with where you've been in your journey as well. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Hello and welcome back to Being Human, Hidden Depths, the podcast that is run by Collaboration Global, an online global community that look out for entrepreneurs and people who are up to some good. My name is Gill Tiney, and today I am very excited to welcome our special guest, Sacha Hughes. Welcome, Sacha. Lovely to have you on the show.
Thank you, Jill. So genuinely lovely to be here. I'm very honoured to be invited. So thank you.
You're very welcome. We came together through your fabulous PR team who are looking to promote your book for you. But you were one of the rare people that came along to one of our meetings to see what we were about rather than just push your book onto us. And that's what made me delighted that I got to know you a little bit before I got to find out about your book or anything else that's going on in your life. And it was lovely that we had some quite good conversations, didn't we, at that session?
Absolutely. It was all about managing your own world and not getting sucked into the fear that's everything that's going on in the wider world, wasn't it? And just how, we are our own safe space. So I came away fully charged up after that session last week and was very grateful. It was so nice to meet you all. So thank you for having me on.
Yeah, it was such fun, and so it's one of those conversations that there wasn't like 30 or 40 people there, which sometimes there is in Collaboration Global, but it was a very nice small little group that we got to have a really good natter
yes.
and then find out about each other. What made you come? Because a lot of people would have gone, oh, it's another thing to go to. Was there anything that intrigued you about it, or are you open? Were you one of these people who are like, oh, it's something I've not done before, let's try this?
Yeah, I think I was open. I looked everything up online and really liked what I read and saw and thought, actually, it's something of interest. I know I personally have got to get out there, get more visible, grow my network, especially I've spent the last 3 years a little happy writing hermit behind my desk. It's now time to get out there with my products. So it just felt like it was really aligned. And also the PR company, they have been brilliant and they have been matching me up with people where there's genuine interest, mutual interest on both sides. So I was open, very open. And I'm really glad I did come last week. It made me realize I love this journey because I feel like I'm meeting people who, your energy attracts or your vibe attracts your tribe. And now that I am getting visible and I have done so much healing on myself and have done so much work on myself in the last 10 years, I can have all these lovely chats with like-minded people. And I'm like, they're out there. There are people out there who understand this stuff and we can have this, these goosebump conversations. So I was very open and I'm very glad that I did do the last week. Thank you.
I like that. You are very I remember writing down lots when you were talking at that meeting, and you're great for my merchandise business when I eventually set it up for the t-shirts, because you just did another one. It was a goosebump conversation. I love those, and you know exactly what you mean. That's that kind of phrase that just goes, yes, I know what she's talking about. I get that, a goosebump conversation. It's lovely.
Thank you.
So I'm going to have you as my CEO, I think, of my merchandising a t-shirt company. What was I going to say? My brain is full of lots of different things about what you're about and who you are. Visibility. This is the thing. You've been a hermit and you're now coming out and you've been visible. And one of the things that I find a lot of entrepreneurs they're passionate about what their thing is and they want to tell people, but they're very good at hiding and they don't realize that actually you need other people to shout for you. And this is kind of where I'm at with this podcast, is we shout for our members and we show off about them. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I should. Oh, is that okay? But what I love about you is you've done that journey and now you're coming out the other end and you're like, what's out there? Let's bring it on. And it's all going to come forward. So what I want to know now is, where did your journey start? When did you first consider writing your book? But what was going on beforehand before you realized that a book might be something that the time had come? We've all got a book in us, so they say. But what was the story of your book being born?
Well, I feel for a long time, for probably 20 years, I felt like I had a story in me. Um, it was a very colourful story, much of it,
Yeah.
but I never had that happily ever after. I didn't feel like I had the happily ever after anyway. And I knew I would never be an autobiography. It would always be a book inspired by personal experiences. But I just thought if there's no man, knight in shining armor, the romance at the end that everyone's expecting in these chick flicks and
Yeah.
rom-coms, I was like,
Happily
no one's going
ever
to want to read
after.
it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And however, so I do probably it was my divorce on the whole sort of beginning of the journey for me was really when my beautiful mother, who I was super close to, I was the youngest of 4 kids, and she was such a hands-on present mummy, so much fun, so much heart, so much humor. And she died when I was 24. She'd been battling cancer on and off for about 5 years. And that for me, like if I could have died that day too, and for years afterwards, I honestly wanted to. But I put the clown face on. So
Yeah.
I was working at the time in recruitment in London for financial services recruitment. And it was a very male dominated environment, incredibly boozy, which worked wonders for me because all I wanted to do was numb my pain and get drunk. Just, so Pinot Grigio was like my painkiller of choice. And it was, just there was all these boozy corporate lunches and things. But the problem was it didn't then just stop at the Pinot Grigio. I then ended up taking lots of cocaine for years. I'd take lots of cocaine. So that was also my escapism. But I don't know how I managed to keep this job for 10 years, but I did. And I'd turn up at work the next day, have had very little sleep, been at the after parties. I'm living in London. There was always another party to go to, never slept. So I knew at that period of my life, I had some cracking what's it called? Stim material for a book. However, I did end up meeting my happily ever after. We got married when I was in my early 30s, and everything was looking perfect. I was like, brilliant, ta-da, he's going to heal me from my mum grief. He's going to provide me with all my happiness. I will give all my happiness over to this person. I have no understanding of the fact that I'm responsible for my own happiness. So it was almost like this relationship was doomed from the start, to be honest. He'd also had a lot of wounds himself. Neither of us had healed any of our traumas. So we were like plasters for each other. So it's no wonder that when I was pregnant with my second child, sadly, all the marriage and all the trust in the relationship had gone. We'd only been married for about a year, and I just thought I was like, things weren't seeming right to me. So a year later, I filed for divorce, and it was at that time that I was like, this breakdown now that I'm a mother to 2 gorgeous children. I hadn't been drinking but then anyway, because I've been fully embracing motherhood. But I was like, this breakdown is now going to be my breakthrough, and I am going to rise. I am not going to sink. I'm not going to self-sabotage. I'm not going to run away from my pain. I'm going to face it all, and I'm going to be the best mother I can be. And I spent about 5 years, as my children would be asleep in bed next to me, spent about 5 years reading as many spiritual and self-help books that I could get my hands on. And I learned all about like present moment living, the power of now, meditation, letting go, forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, trusting your intuition. And I just felt like I could feel my inner world was changing. And I wasn't interested at the time. I didn't want to just put all the blame on my ex-husband for the breakdown of our marriage. I really wanted
Although that would have been easy to do. We often do that. It's much easier to blame somebody else. It's all their fault, nothing to do with me.
So easy to do, but I think I just realized through the reading I was doing, I was like, I've been a victim for so much of my life. I was a victim of my beautiful mum dying, and so woe is me, life's happening to me. I never realized the concept of self-love just didn't exist for me at that time, and it was only through the marriage breaking down that I realized I'm responsible for all of this. So yes, I could blame him for everything, but I wanted to look at the 3 fingers pointing back at me. What the hell had I done to contribute to this breakdown of this marriage, and what needed to change in me so that I never face this hideous heartbreak again? And yeah, that's kind of where this whole journey of self-discovery began. And that was 10 years ago. And in terms of the writing, so I was doing lots of reading, meditating, etc., and always asking for my purpose. Like, what is my purpose? Because when I was working in recruitment, I just felt like I could never understand why everyone got so much joy out of it. And they would seem to be so enthusiastic about KPIs and strategy and all this stuff. And I'd just sit there thinking, this is lost on me. Like, I want to talk about feelings. I want to talk about depth. I want to understand myself. I want to understand you. I want us to have heart-to-heart conversations. So it was about 3 or 4 years ago, I actually went on holiday and I had a romance. I met someone and I wasn't expecting to. I've been single for such a long time. And I met this guy on the first day of our holiday and I ended up spending a whole week with him. And it honestly felt like an unexpected honeymoon. It was the most mind-blowing connection.
Lovely.
And when I came back from that, I knew I had to write. And ever since I've written, and so now I've written the Soho Summers series, the first book, Love, Grief, and More Sex Than Pinot, which is very much Bridget Jones meets Fleabag vibe. That came out a month ago. It's doing great. I've got so many good reviews on Amazon. I'm delighted. And yeah, all systems go with that. I've got the audio book coming out with that. And then the second book from the Soho Summers series called Soho Summers versus Love, Life, the Universe is going to be out by November. So it was really this chance encounter that got me into writing. And then through writing about my journey, it has been the biggest healing I could possibly have ever imagined and the greatest gift. So
it's
through my
life,
go on.
I was going to say, it's interesting that when you do start writing a book, and I've written a few, but not a novel. My novel is still in there. I've got it all planned out. But the actual... So I've written books about collaboration, but it's not until you start writing, one, that you kind of realize how much you already know. And you're sharing it with everybody. But it is cathartic because you go back through the pinch points of the pain points of like what went wrong and how it went wrong and why it went wrong. And you're like, ugh. And you just learn something. And you sit back. I don't know about you, but you kind of sit back and go, what the hell? I was such a different person then. How did I get caught in that? It just, you don't realize. It's just this wonderful learning process. And like you, I've done all the books and all the courses and blah, 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 all that kind of thing over the years. What would you say is your book that strikes you as like, if I hadn't read this, I never would have turned the corner? This is the one that that you recommend to everybody. What's your favorite?
It's difficult because there are so many, but I think the one that really hooked me at the time was Eckhart Tolle with The Power of Now. Because I remember reading that and the revelation that we are not our thoughts and things. I've then read A New Earth afterwards. I was like, oh my gosh. So this monkey mind, this awful, hideous, disgusting voice in my head isn't actually me. I'm the observer of my thoughts. And I have got the power to change those thoughts. You know, it was
revelation.
Now, even though the car journey with the kids on the way to school this morning, I was talking about present moment living. And, you know, if you're always looking for the next thing, you're going to miss out on the happiness now. That was a really big pivotal book for me at the time.
It's amazing because even now I realize that things my mum was telling me when I was a kid, she kind of had my best interests because I was always looking for the future and what's next. Even when we go out, she'd say, oh my goodness, you drive me mad. She said, what? If there was a staircase, I had to know what was at the top of it. If there was a corner, I had to know what was around the corner of it. And she, can't you just be content? Look at the view. It's lovely. And I'm like, but we're just looking. It's just like, just stay still, just be content for a minute. And it took me a long time for that penny to drop. And my mum died when I was 50, literally 6 weeks before my 50th birthday.
Oh, shocking.
49, yeah. But not as bad as yourself, but it hurts, whatever. Whenever your mother goes, even if you didn't have a good relationship with her, there's that part of you that's like lost forever. And her wisdom that I thought, oh, Ma, at the time, now rebounds back again and again and again. And you can read it in these books. And it's like, wow, my mum knew more than she was letting on because she saw that kind of frustration in me because I wanted to go all the way. And frustration is good when it's a driver, but it's not good when it's holding you back and it's like making you upset and all the rest of it. So that's incredible that you went through that space because I think a lot of people will resonate with that, you know, that era. So when are we talking? Noughties? Is that
it was
when?
Like It was about 1990 or something. No, sorry, 1998. Yeah, 2000, early
Yeah.
2000s to like 2010. I remember
Yeah.
there being the economic crisis. I think that was in
2008.
2008. Sorry, that's right. And
Mm,
that was really bad actually, because then my boss was like, right, we all really need to start taking work seriously. I mean, a lot of them really did. I
yeah.
genuinely was more of the party hard, not work quite so hard, but I managed to stay with it. But I do remember the just the whole atmosphere in the office became suddenly a lot more serious, and I was a bit
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm not sure I enjoy this place.
Boring. Yeah.
And I was also perpetually on the quest for my Mr. Right to come and save me from my mum grief. And because my mum and dad, they were married for nearly 40 years, had a lovely, beautiful
Aww.
relationship. My siblings were all married with children. So I just honestly thought I needed to get married and have babies. That would be my salvation.
Yeah.
So there was all these crazy, hideous one night stands that, have made for very laughable, funny sort of, accounts in the book. So
Yeah.
yeah, based on, obviously inspired by personal experiences, not fact. Get
Yes.
that in
So
there.
if you recognize yourself in the book, it's not necessarily you.
Absolutely.
Brilliant. It was a culture though, wasn't it? Back in that day, so especially the 90s. I mean, I wasn't in the city, but I knew lots of people who were, and one of my best friends had a recruitment agency in the city for finance at the time.
Mm.
And she loved the parties and all the rest of it, and exactly as you say, but she was a little bit more um that's them over there and this is me over here kind of thing. She had another passion that fueled her, and that was just the day job. So the minute the day job was done, she was off doing her passion, which was acting. Um,
Oh, great.
yeah, so now she's left that, and well, for various reasons, the business was sold. So she was like, that's somebody telling me to pull my finger out and do what I've always wanted to do. So she's now
Yeah.
got a theatre company,
Oh, amazing.
production company.
Brilliant.
So she goes around the country, and she's been to New York and all the rest of it with her shows, which is
Oh,
amazing. Yeah. So I
love
wonder,
that. So
had
good.
had she done that before she was in the city, I wonder what sort of person she would have been. But it is a culture that we fall into, and we were sold, society was sold. It's the happy ever after story. Every movie in Hollywood that ever came out,
100%.
and now they're just starting to have the end of the story. It's like, well, she doesn't get the guy, and you're like, oh, good for
I
you, girl. You don't
think
need one. But then we're coming out the other end now with the way men are reacting. Is that, well, if you don't need me, what's the point? So therefore, I'm not going to connect to you. There's this demographic in
Mm.
society of men that are anti-women, becoming more misogynist than they were before.
It is bonkers, isn't it? I do feel, because I've, as I know, I've got the happily ever after, as I say, with that guy. However, the universe works in the most magical ways. And one of the things I really, really have struggled with my whole life up until writing this book has been self-love. And so
mm,
therefore, so many of my relationships have mirrored the fact that I'm not lovable, I'm not good enough, because I believed it myself. So I'm attracting
yeah,
those people in, right, to confirm that belief that I have in me. Through writing my book, it's like the universe has allowed me to fall in love with the lead character, see how much she stumbled through very similar sticky situations to the ones I have, and realize she was only ever doing the very best she could with the awareness she had at the time. And yeah, I've through writing the book, I've seen what I'm capable of. And
mm,
I love myself now. I've never loved myself before.
oh,
And so I feel I'm the happily ever after. It was me finding me. Like, again, what a revelation. I did not
yeah.
see that coming. So yeah, that has been beautiful.
Imagine if your mum, and if this was one of your kids, imagine your mum knowing that you didn't love yourself. She
Oh,
would
and
be mortified, wouldn't she?
to cry, honestly. No one, I don't think anyone has asked me that before, but yeah, that does. It's like, I can feel that stab of a pain in my heart, because you just think, I've got children, and if they thought that, it would just be devastating. So yeah,
Yeah,
she'd be heartbroken at that. And it was never anything that she did. It wasn't, she always made me feel lovable,
yeah,
but she
yeah,
died. She died, and she was my
yeah.
biggest champion.
How
And
dare
without
she?
I was lost.
Yeah,
Exactly. I was angry for years. I
I'll
was
bet.
absolutely furious. Like,
Mm,
why? Why my mum? Well, and even though this is awful of me, but I did used to think, why not other people's mums? Why mine?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's not
exactly. What have I done?
yeah,
Obviously, it's my fault. Yeah, there's all those kind of permutations of
it
the
is.
scenario. I mean, a little while ago, and also tell your kids that they do you love yourself? You know, ask them because you'll assume that they're content and they're okay. Oh yeah, they're fine. They know we've talked about these things, but tell them
Mm.
and tell them again and tell them again. Because the other day, my one of my friends, my good friend, her son, age of 44, died by suicide.
Oh,
And I
awful.
was like, I was cross with him. It's like, how could you do that to your mother? You know, it was just, oh,
That's,
why would you? And he did it in such a way that she found him, which is
oh, don't. Oh,
anyway,
it makes you feel
yeah.
sick.
And so I said to my daughters, if you ever do that to me, I'm going to be so angry with you. And they just
Yeah.
came back. Well, the youngest one came back and went, and don't you ever do that to us? Oh, yeah, good point. You know, it's like,
You're
whoa.
so
And you
brave.
forget that they have this reciprocal love going on with you, and we have a
Mm.
responsibility to let them know how wonderful they are and that they don't need anything else but the love that they've got for themselves, and then that makes them stronger. So
Yes,
my
definitely.
granddaughter now, I say, hello, gorgeous girl. She says, no, you're a gorgeous girl. No, you're a gorgeous girl. I said, we're both gorgeous girls, aren't we? She went, yes, we are. And it's
Oh,
that kind of letting everyone know you understanding that you are loved. And if you don't take it for yourself, then how can anyone else love you? If you're not going to accept that you're a lovable person and you love yourself, how can earth can anyone else love you and show you that love that you're craving so much for?
it's so true because with the self love comes a self respect, doesn't it? And I didn't
Yeah,
respect myself and I didn't know my self worth. So I gave my power away to everyone. I put all my colleagues, all friends, everyone around me on pedestals. You're better than me. Always compare and despair. You're better than me. Oh my gosh, I'm never as good as you. Oh God, no, 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 I can't do it. I'd always give my power away to men because I was forever looking for the love. I
yeah,
wasn't looking to be promiscuous. I was looking for the love of my life. 100%. Never found him with the way
mm,
I was acting, being drunk on cocaine. Of course not. You're going to meet all the problems, right? So
yeah,
yeah, and my self-worth, like I didn't have anything. I honestly thought I thought I might as well just jump under a bus, really, to be honest with you, for much of
wow,
my life.
yeah,
But yeah, I'm so glad that I've been on this healing journey, and I love it because I feel like I try to sow the seeds early with my children and give them. You want to teach them things as soon as you can, don't you? In a way that
yeah,
hopefully they understand, because so that they don't make any of the same mistakes. However, the problem is, I know that through the journey is where I've grown through what I've gone
yeah.
through. So, everyone has their journey, don't they? And your children are going to have it, and you just have to let them know that you're there for them if they need you. And
I was just going to
yeah,
say that. Yeah, they've got to be able to come to you, whatever the problem is. My again,
exactly.
again, my youngest, who thinks a bit too deeply sometimes, she said when she was about 12, I think, she said, "Mum, what do I have to do that would you'd be disappointed in me?"
Oh,
And I
that's a very
said, "Yeah," I said, "I'd never be disappointed in you." I said, even if you killed someone, I'd say it's probably their fault." I said, but so no, I wouldn't be disappointed in you. I said, the only thing that would disappoint me is if you let somebody else control you because it's your
oh,
life.
that's a great, yeah, very true.
And this is the thing, isn't it? It's like external validation doesn't mean a thing. It's what goes on inside. It's an inside job, isn't it? I think you said that. It's an inside job. I've written that down. You said that at the meeting.
Sure. I think said about the orange, didn't I? How when you squeeze the orange juice comes out. And if you're filled with hatred or self-doubt, then that's going to come out.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah,
once you fill up, I really am getting it now. I so am. I'm a firm believer in this. Once you fill yourself up with the love, the worth, the everything, the validation, you don't give your power away then. You say no to things that don't feel right for your
yes,
heart. You
yes.
have the strength to say no. And your life just starts moving in alignment. You come and go and flow, don't you? And it's amazing. But it's all through, yeah, tuning in, I feel.
And
And
if we can teach our children this valuable message so far, if imagine if you knew that when you were 8 or 9,
I know.
you know?
Different life. I would have had a very different life.
Yeah. But also, I mean, you didn't need it at 8 or 9 because you had your mum validating you. But when she went, it was like, whoa, who am I? What's
Yeah,
gone? Because you were so
really
close
was.
to her. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think everything we have to go, what would my mum think? Because you want your mum to think the best of you. And if she thought you hated yourself or you were considering suicide, or you were considering self-harm, or you were considering damaging your body with drugs or alcohol or whatever, she'd be disappointed. So it's like, oh, I'm not going to do that then. Because you've got that bond is there. I mean, obviously there are people out there that have got horrible relationships with their mums, but just imagine your mum that you would like to be, and
Mm.
that's how you kind of live up to beyond the relationship that you had that maybe wasn't great. And if it wasn't a great relationship with your mum, it's because she was probably damaged and hurt when she was younger.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
didn't
It
understand.
my mum actually was. She had a very traumatic upbringing, hideous. Like her
Wow.
parents, put into care homes and
Oh,
abused and all kinds of things. However, she became the most brightest gem because of that. Like she was the alchemist, transmuted all that pain into just becoming the most loving hands-on mum. Because I think she'd
wow.
been through so much herself. So she was a cycle breaker.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Wow.
So it's definitely she's been a huge inspiration and is what drives me to be the best mum I possibly can be for my two, without question. They'll
And
always come first
and
with
she had love overflowing, and you've got love overflowing, and then they're reciprocating that as well. So
yeah.
it's a lovely chain. What a lovely legacy she's left behind from the love that she shared with you guys. It's incredible.
Thank you.
Tell me about the book now. So it's a fiction, it's a novel, but tell me about your characters. Who's in there?
Oh, okay. So Soho Summers is the lead character. I do meditate every day, so I feel like that name kind of came through a bit of a
I was
not
wondering where it came from. Yeah.
I was lots of it. I live in Poole, so I do lots of walking by the beach. So I might meditate in the morning and then go for a walk, and then it's like bing, 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 all these ideas are coming. And I love Soho Summers because she's brought up in a middle class, quite nice sort of family upbringing.
Yeah.
Certainly not the kind of daughter that the father would at all think would be destined to sleep with half the male population or snort lots of cocaine. So I thought the name Soho was fun because it's the part, naughty part of London. Everyone will know the name Soho.
Yes.
And the Summers was just, I love the alliteration. I was like, it rolls off the tongue and la la
Yeah.
la. So the lead character is called Soho, and it's really following her life, writer's journey through love, loss, and hope, and realizing that the only person that can save her is her. Accompanied with that is her 5 best friends called the Wino Worms, who, they are always on this Prosecco fueled mission to find Soho someone to love. And they're all gorgeous, they're all fun, they're all wacky, very supportive. When I was writing those characters, I had a great girly group when I was growing up in my 20s, and we're still firm friends now. So they were a super inspiration. So in my head, I was often just in the pub with those girls. But I was also definitely thinking of Sex and the City,
Yeah.
and just not Eat, Pray, Love. Anything I Know About Love, which was something that was out, a book by Donna Atherton that was out on the BBC iPlayer as well. So I just wanted the group of gaggling girls, and everyone to just have the laugh when you're in the pub with them, and it's the raucous laughter and things. And then Soho also, she has 2 sisters who are key parts in the book, Sienna and Sky, and they're a little bit older than her. And it's just it's a real family. Oh, and then there's the crazy work people. Really is. The feedback I'm getting is that it's so raw. It's 100% relatable. It's hugely funny. It's triggering at times because it is so raw, but it's a book that people cannot put down. A total
Wow.
turner. And lots of people are reading it within 5 days, even though it is quite a big book. And I'm just so ecstatic with the reviews because I haven't gone out and sold it to all my friends and said, oh, put reviews on Amazon. I'm not like that. I've wanted it all to be organic. So I'm seeing these reviews of people that I genuinely don't know that are putting 5-star reviews up on Amazon, and it's so touching. And the feedback is, someone said it is like Bridget Jones meets Fleabag. It's as if they had a baby, their own child, and gave her loads of alcohol and sent her off into London.
Oh.
So it's fun.
That's brilliant.
Fun but sad.
Well, that sounds like my holiday reading sorted.
Oh, thank you.
When that arrives. Yeah, for sure, for sure. What about the villain of the piece? Is there somebody that's not a savory character?
Lots of the men that she meets. who she always would love to wake up the following morning with them and them to propose to her and it to be the love of her life.
Yeah.
But no, they disappear as fast as the bottle of Prosecco that she drank the night before with her mates. And she always has that awful, empty, hopeless feeling the following morning. She's not good enough and she's not lovable. Although she was obviously the person that met them the night before and ended up saying yes to them. So she's got to take responsibility for that, right? So yeah, there was a lot of villains. I never, in the book, I do inject a lot of humor into it. So there's not any, there's one incident actually, a very painful incident in the bedroom that does wake her up and makes her realize she does need to start healing properly and to stop drinking, stop looking for love with all these men and to actually face the grief and start doing the inner work. So she does. So there is that one incident with someone, yes, who is the catalyst for her to start to wake up. So
yeah. Oh, it sounds a brilliant book, and the fact that you've got 3 of them on the go. How when you planned out the first one, did you know that? I mean, like apparently J.K. Rowling knew she had all the Harry Potter books planned before she wrote the first one, so she knew there was going to be however many 5 books, 7 books. I don't know. I've read them all. I can't remember how many there are. But did you do the same, or did you do your first one and then go, I wonder where Soho's going to go after this, and then do the next one?
I did. I started writing about the book inspired by the experience with the chap I met on holiday. So in my mind, that was a complete book on its own at the time when I first started. And I look back at my writing then and oh my goodness, it is shocking. It's terrible. But at least I was getting all my feelings on the paper. It was very much, it's interesting how much I have, and my editor does say this, like how I have improved. And as in the first book, I wasn't even writing in first person. So it was, she did this and they did that. And it just sounded awful and clunky and terrible. But at least I got the main bulk of the experiences down there. So I thought that would be a book all on its own. But with the help of a really amazing editor, he has condensed that book into the second book. So he said that's a fantastic ending of the second book, rather than it being a book all on its own. He said there are books out there where the second book can get a bit lost. He was like, you need to keep the momentum. You need to just keep it, a page turn and the cliffhangers at the end. And so the third book is now sort of in motion at the moment and being written. So I thought I'd written a trilogy initially, but with the editor, we've condensed lots, we've taken lots out, but the third book is definitely there. I know how that's going to be shaped. I know what's going in it. It's exciting.
So are you enjoying writing the third book more than the first one?
You know what? The third book is going to be so different. The first book is Soho in the wild years, the years of pure self-sabotage, crazy. It's sad, but it's naughty, it's fun, it's all of that stuff. The third book is going to be when she is so much more awake, and it will be, I feel like, I'm hoping that I will have pulled in enough readers by then through the first and second book that they won't even really realize they're reading a book that is the hidden messages. A lot of it is the weaving in of the self-help, of the spiritual stuff that I have myself have learned. So I'm hoping it can really make a big impact in that way, and people who wouldn't necessarily pick those types of books up because it's Soho Summers and it's her journey, they will. So I can see it will be very different, but I will still make it funny, and I still want it to be a page turner. I want it to keep all the essence of Soho in there.
Sounds brilliant, because what you're offering people is, most people don't want to stand in the self-help section of the bookshop, do they? Or even go through Amazon and go, I don't know what I need. I don't know what. We all need the same thing. We all need to know that we're worth it, that we are perfect as we are, that we are loved because we have that capability within us. But everyone reads a bit of chick lit, don't they? It's a holiday comes up and they're going to be reading, they're going, oh my God, that could be me. Oh my God. It's like they're going to resonate with it. And then because it's the second one and the third one, if they've read the first one and they see, I mean, I don't know about you, but if I've read the first book and I've loved it, the second one's, oh, good, I'm going to read that. And you buy it without even looking at the front cover. You buy it without even looking at the back cover to see what the story's about. It's the same with that one. You know where the story goes to. So it's like Richard Osman. What's he written? 4 now, of the Thursday Murder Club. I'm in. I'm in. I was in after the first book. Yeah. And I'll pre-order it and all the rest of it. I want hardback. It's that
Ah,
feel, and I think a lot of people like that. But if they're learning stuff about it, when they come to the third book and kind of like the revelation of how the learning has occurred, and
yes.
that's going to be like, yeah, oh wow. So it's almost like there's a teaching book needed at the end of like, this is my life, this is where I've come from, and this is how I got to where I am now. So people can just take the lessons more directly without the subliminal message that goes around.
It is. It's learning as Soho goes on her journey. The readers are then learning with her. So it
Yeah.
doesn't sound preachy or, do this. It's more you can see for yourself what's worked for Soho and what hasn't and what she has done along the way. And I did one review said the name Soho Summers now lives rent free in my head and I will never.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, that's
perfect.
so cool.
Yeah,
So
that is perfect. And you know what? When you know what it's about, and the fact that it is a trilogy, already my mind is going, so who am I going to buy this for their birthday? Oh God, she needs to read this. It's that kind of that you
yeah.
need to, and you want them to read the first one and enjoy it and then go, oh, I'll get you the second one. It's fine because you know where it's going. And because when you're
So
close to somebody, you can tell them all these things, but they don't get it until they have to kind of see it for themselves. It's
yeah.
that's kind of revelation. Until somebody's ready to lose weight, they're never going to lose weight. Until somebody's ready to get fit, you could tell them a million, oh, you should run a marathon. I don't think so. Whatever it is that you think they should do, they're not going to take it from you. They have to see it for themselves.
It's so true, isn't it? Like, what's it when the student's ready, the teacher appears? I love that one because that's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
And
Except the
it's only
teacher appears without them even realizing the teacher's appearing.
yeah.
In a perfect. So do you see yourself as an author now?
I do. It's so exciting. Like I can say it now without having imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
So I suppose
Awesome.
when I first started, I mean, the book's only been out probably about 6 weeks, and I had a big book launch at the Bournemouth Writers Festival, and
Uh,
yeah, it's exciting. I'm going to be there's an article coming out in Women's Own magazine about the book, which is
right.
fantastic. And it's the stance on that is healing through writing because I feel the book's got so many different facets. And so yes, I do feel like an author now. I firmly do. I am owning that.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I went to the Bournemouth Book Festival a couple of years ago to meet Beverly Glick, who was there. Have you come
Oh,
across Beverly?
wow. Yes. I don't know her
Um,
personally, but yeah, amazing.
yeah, so she talks about the stories in your life, creating the stories that you can write about, and that's your kind of mission. And it was very clever the way she taught you to utilize it. And you're doing that naturally. That what she teaches is what you've done naturally. So it's interesting, but it's amazing. If people get a chance to go to the Bournemouth Book Festival, I rave about it. I think it's a beautiful place. So what a perfect place to have that book launch. I wish I'd been there. That would have been nice.
Oh, thank
Never
you. I
mind.
went a year ago, not this year, the year before, and I had a messy manuscript of my two drafts or three books at the time, messy
Yeah.
manuscript. No idea how to proceed. Been working on them for over 2 years, totally naive and everything. And through that, I met the copywriter, the editor, cover designer, like all these
Oh.
amazing people. And I suddenly thought, I can do this. I can do this. And I met all these authors who were on stage talking about self-publishing. And I was like, I don't even need to go down the publishing route. I can self-publish. Like, this is amazing. And I will keep my authenticity. And I know my book, it is very naughty. It's very explicit in parts, but in a fun way. But
Yeah.
I thought big publishers, they might not want to touch this with a barge pile initially. Hopefully by the second book they will, because they will realize the first book's doing so well. But I thought they would just strip out my authentic voice. And so
Mhm.
self-publishing gave me the control and it gave me license to think, I'm going to keep that in. I know that's naughty and risque, but I'm going to keep it in. It's what I would like to be reading about.
Yeah.
So this year I applied to launch my book there, and I did say it would feel like a full circle moment, given that the year before I'd arrived with this messy manuscript, and now I've got a published novel. And so they said yes, so I was chosen to launch it, which was incredible, and it was amazing seeing there was this big screen of my book, Love, Grief, and More Sex Than Pinot,
Uh,
big cinema screen, and I was doing a speech, just like, oh my god, again goosebumps. I
I can
can't
imagine.
believe I'm here. Yeah.
Did you take lots of photos?
Yes, yeah, there are lots of photos. There was a professional photographer there, and there was also articles in the Dorset magazine, and lots of sort of hubbub on social media, which was brilliant.
Lovely.
Mm.
So if somebody wanted to follow you on social media, or more importantly, if somebody wants to buy the book, how would they get hold of you on social media? And also, what's the, is it just go to Amazon and search for you?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. The title again is Love, Grief, and More Sex Than Pinot by Sacha Hughes. And Sacha is Sacha, Sacha Hughes. So yeah, so it's on Amazon, it's on Kindle and paperback. And I am in the process right now, which I'm absolutely loving, of doing the audio, and I'm reading it myself. And the emotion I'm putting in it is crazy. Like, obviously, some of the parts about this guy whose mum dies is just, oh, but again,
Oh,
it's so good for me, right? So, yes, so that hopefully will be out within the next month. And then in terms of following me, my name's just Sacha Hughes on Instagram. I've got a blue top and blue earrings, so you'll probably be able to pop. I do stand out in this bright blue top. And then I'm also on Facebook, author at Sacha Hughes on Facebook. And I've got my own website, www.sachahughes.com.
awesome.
So yes, so I'd love it if people were interested, and yeah.
And just if they're experiencing any of the story that you've just told us, there must be so many people out there that go, oh my God, she's talking about me.
Yeah.
And even if it's guys as well, we all go through these phases of needing to be liked by people. It's like you get this people pleasing gene in you. That was me as well when I was younger.
Mm.
And you look back and you go, why did I let them get away with that? Why did I let them do that? Why did I get passed over for promotion? And it's because you've got something lacking in yourself rather than other people are better than you, because there isn't anybody else better than you. We're all
It's so
individual and unique.
I heard the other day, because I have always been a people pleaser, but I'm not anymore. But I heard the other day how that is almost it's a form of soft manipulation, even though you don't mean it to be, but you're people
Yeah.
pleasing to like you. So it is manipulation, but just in a different way. So that also made me think, okay, I'm going to stop and just stop doing it.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't even thought about it like that, but you're right. You see it as a negative for yourself, but actually it's how you get what you want.
It is, isn't
Yeah.
it? So everything is always an inside job. It always starts with us. And that's where I love it, because that's where our power is. And then you can make the changes that you need to. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely going on a t-shirt. I tell you, I love that. Well,
Oh,
listen, Sacha, it's been an absolute joy talking to you. I cannot wait to read your book. I'm off to buy it now. I also
that's
am
great.
looking forward to the whole series and how it pans out, but also the other series that you're going to write after that, because now you're an author. This is your day job. It's like I can imagine seeing you in lots of different magazines and festivals. You'll be on the literary circuit, going around talking about your book. Well done. It's been a
Oh,
journey, hasn't it? I can tell it's been an amazing journey for you.
yeah,
And
it's
I
huge.
know your mum would be so proud,
Oh, thank
so
you. That's
proud.
nice
Yeah.
of you to say.
And
Yeah,
let your kids know that they have to love it themselves first, and then everybody else loves them as well.
I
Lovely.
will give them
Thank
pep talks. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for having me on. I've loved this conversation. You're
you're a
gorgeous.
star.
And yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're very welcome. I'll speak to you soon, darling. Take care.
Okay. Bye bye.